The day arrived for George's will reading. Our parlor lamp cast a warm glow on the mahogany table. My son David sat opposite his sister Eleanor. His gaze already possessed what had not yet been announced. A heavy silence filled the room. It felt thicker than the dust motes in the lamplight. Mr. Henderson, the lawyer, cleared his throat. His voice sounded dry, like autumn leaves. He began to read George's last wishes. The house, our home for 50 cherished years, was David's. Eleanor, George's own daughter, received only a small distant parcel of land. David and his wife Sarah exchanged a triumphant glance. They thought I was just an old woman, frail and forgetful, easily bypassed, a gentle grandmother, unaware of their schemes. They were wrong. I remembered George's last weeks in the hospital. His mind was fading, like an old beloved photograph. David and Sarah visited constantly, always attentive, always leaning close. "Father," I heard Sarah whisper to him, "wouldn't you want David to have the home? To keep the legacy strong?" Their voices were soft, but I heard every word. Eleanor, bless her kind heart, brought fresh-cut garden flowers. She talked of childhood memories. She tried desperately to coax a smile from her fading father. But their insidious word, he crowed. They were choking out Eleanor's quiet, unconditional love. I watched them all, my own children and their spouses, from my armchair. My family saw only a quiet old woman, one barely registering their presence. I, however, saw every secret, every calculated move, every hidden desire for power. This house was not just wood and brick to me. It held generations of laughter, tears, and solemn promises. It was the ver hart of the Dickombriek. I felt the naked greed was unjustly stealing it. But David and Sarah, in their haste, forgot one crucial thing. George and I always shared a deeper understanding, a trust built over decades, long before his mind began to dim. Inside that dusty box, beneath brittle old love letters, lay a small embossed envelope. It contained a separate, older deed. It clearly stated Eleanor's absolute right to the family home. George had signed it years ago. He called it a quiet precaution. "Just in case, Martha," he whispered to me then, "to protect Eleanor from any unforeseen ambitions." I held that deed, feeling the weight of George's wisdom. I knew the moment wasn't right at the funeral. I had to let their triumph unfold. It would make their fall more complete. The very next morning, my purpose was clear. I called Mr. Henderson, our family lawyer for decades. He was the one David had so cleverly tried to bypass. He remembered the old deed instantly. A week later, David and Sarah received a terse, formal letter. It came from Mr. Henderson's office. It requested their immediate presence for an urgent matter regarding George's estate. They arrived at the lawyer's office, radiating smug confidence. They were certain I had forgotten some minor clause. They barely acknowledged my quiet presence, focusing entirely on the lawyer. Mr. Henderson cleared his throat again, but this time his voice held a distinct, sharper edge. He slowly held up the old deed. Its parchment was soft with the passage of many years. David spluttered, his face reddening. "That's impossible. Father's will clearly states." But the ancient document, witnessed and signed years ago, was undeniable. It was legally binding. Sarah's carefully constructed composure cracked entirely. Her face contorted with rage. "You old witch!" she hissed. Her venomous gaze finally turned to me. "You planned this." I met her furious gaze. My own voice remained steady and calm. "No, dear," I replied softly. "Your own naked greed planned this. I merely honored George's true, earlier wishes. The house, our beloved family home, was rightfully Eleanor's. The newer will was voided concerning that specific property. It was superseded by the prior, indisputable deed. Word, as it always does, travels fast in our quiet town. The truth of David and Sarah's manipulation spread. Their attempted dispossession of Eleanor became a quiet stain on their name. Eleanor was at first stunned by these events. She eventually wept tears of profound relief, not just for the house, but for the affirmation that she had truly been seen and loved by her father and by me. I often sit on that very porch swing now. The warm lamplight spills softly around me as dusk settles. The house stands firm, filled once more with quiet joy, no longer haunted by greedy whispers or hidden resentments. They saw a quiet old woman, yes. But sometimes, dear ones, the quietest among us see the most. And sometimes we ensure true justice. True karma finds its way home, gentle as the setting sun. After they thought I was just old, I was planning their reckoning. What would you do first in that situation? Hit subscribe for more stories like this. Like as this was worth your time. Comment with your ideas for the next video.